Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday evening to my replay viewers. Back at you again. My voice is hoarse. I am going to read an excerpt from Tabitha Brown's book. I did a new thing, 30 Days to Living Free. And I am on chapter 8. Can you believe it? It's been 8 days. It feels like it's been 32 days. So let me go ahead and read an excerpt out of her chapter. Do something that challenges what you think you know. So let's go ahead and get it started here on this Thursday evening, close to the weekend for y'all. Every day's a weekend to me because I work most days, so. Now I'll be working this weekend, but it's all good. You can have fun in between. So let me go ahead and get started. I remember going home to Eden with my family recently and going to visit my daddy's church. My daughter, Choice, brought a sundress to wear, a long maxi dress with spaghetti straps. It was beautiful on her, but without even thinking, I said, "Girl, wait a minute. What are you wearing?" That sounds like something I'll say to my daughter. "What?" she said. "You can't wear that dress." "Why?" she asked. And that's when I had to take a minute. You see, my mind had reverted back to those old teachings. I was thinking, you can't show no arms in church. My connection is a little shaky. You can't show no arms in church. Girl, you need to cover up. I'm sure I've said that a time or two. Then she said something that brought me back. "Mommy, you are treating me the same way you said you hated to be treated growing up." She was right, and I told her as much. I apologized for unconsciously transferring those old thoughts to her, allowing people, sometimes even for our children, to hold us accountable for our growth is major. Yes, sometimes we'll be inclined to fight against it. And I could have been mad at her for pointing out my hypocrisy, but I decided to sit with it for a minute and say to myself, "Yes, Tab, you are projecting. That ain't right." So no, honey, unlearning isn't easy. Whether it's thoughts on private school, outdated religious practices, or something else, we all have a responsibility to reevaluate what we believe and to pay attention to how God may be changing what you think about a thing. Maybe you have to remove yourself from something altogether until you can get your mind right. That's okay too. There are different ways to do it. But when we decide to make that shift, it can be both a blessing and a relief. This new thing I did today, visiting the private school, really made me check myself and those old thoughts. Sometimes we do have to check ourselves. I had to remind myself that I was on new land. I was in new territory with this blessed life of mine. And with that new territory, there needs to be a new mindset. I have to keep my mind open to what God wants to do and not allow my old mind to put up obstacles that might block me and my family's future blessings. As we left the school today, I said to myself, "This is why you're here, Tab. You've worked very hard for this." And I have. Both my husband and I have worked so hard to get a place where we can support our children, not just financially, but also support them in their growth and the pursuit of their dreams. Too many times we don't give ourselves credit for the hard work because we are so busy being worried about what somebody else might think. And that takes growth and maturity not to care about what other people might think. Because I'm leaving voice notes all this month, and I just say to myself, it doesn't matter what they think. I'm offering a blessing. Either they can receive it or not. It's all good. I did my part. That's what I say. It's funny how sometimes the older you get, the more you think that way. Like, who cares what they think? I did my part. And you'd be shocked at the responses you get when you just don't give a hoot about what folks think. Now, let me see where I left off. Let's see. But honey, I say, who cares? What other people think about me and you, that ain't none of our business. And it really isn't. It's none of our business. Because if you're doing something, people go talk about you. If you're not doing something, people go talk about you. Either way, people go talk about you. Connecting again. How about you accept whatever God has given you as the blessing, but also try to unlearn all those thoughts you used to think have no bearing on your present day life. How about we all stop forming opinions about things we know nothing about? I call it just running my mouth about something I know nothing about. Allowing God to open our minds and hearts to something new will always benefit us and those we love. So that's the end of chapter 8 and her TSA, Tabitha Service Announcement. At the end of each chapter, she gives us 3 new things to think about. The first one is learn a new word. Go to a dictionary and find a word you have never used before. Then use the word throughout the day. This way, you challenge yourself by expanding your vocabulary. Maybe even help expand others by asking people, you ever heard this word before? I'm going to have to find me a word. If you are just coming in, tell me where you are chiming in from, your city and state. Second thing is read an autobiography or watch a documentary. Honey, we can learn so much from other people's lives. Their stories can both inspire you or give you courage. You might learn something you never knew, and it's another great way to challenge yourself. And the third thing is, oh, this is right up my alley here. Sit in on a public court hearing. I'm going to have to find time to do that. I know this might seem strange, but I've actually done this back in the day. I actually ended up there by accident, but I remember being young and saying, you know what? I want to come and do that again. You learn so much about people. If you have a day where you can just go and sit and watch how court is run, it's easier to do in small towns. Give it a try. It's actually very interesting to learn how our laws work, how people get sentenced. You also hear the crazy things people say. Just to think of it as people watching on steroids. Well, that's the end of my excerpt from chapter 8. Tabitha Brown, I did a new thing. This is my 30-day personal Facebook Live challenge. I appreciate you watching, and I'm sure I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, have a good evening. Bye-bye. Oh, visit my link in my bio to see what I am up to, and I will inbox you back. Bye. Have a good night.